score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensive...
There he goes! They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Yeah, this defense is going to have a plan for this tight end, especially when he lines up in the slot, because there's a lot of different routes he can run, and because of his size and his wingspan, he's very, very difficult to cover.
Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, get him the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Just inside the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 39. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. Just inside the 30 at the 29. It's 1st and 10. Jones to throw. Moving away from pressure. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, and after not getting any sacks a week ago, we knew he was going to be a little frustrated, but he told us this week he wasn't going to try to press. He was just going to go out in this game, be himself, knowing the numbers and the stats would come. He's off to a great start in this game.
And with that incompletion, man, this crowd, I don't know that they are really happy about what's going on. I mean, they already built a deficit, and they don't have a lot to cheer about. They got to get some kind of rhythm, something going on this offense to ignite this fan base.
A third down try for the offense. Quarterback making checks. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. They're working that left side. They stop him short, and we'll have a big 4th down coming.
Listen, you hear all the time about how important it is to stay on schedule offensively, right? And this is a perfect example. You just can't have negative plays early in drives, because even when you come up with big plays like we just saw, you're still miles away from picking up this first down. You're making it so hard on your offense.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Steps away to find some room. Fires to the middle. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Trying to take it back. Stopped right at the 40-yard line, and this defense celebrating the turnover.
And that's a frustrating play right there. Like, the protection was really, really good. Jesse, quarterback holds on to the football, has time, and then makes a critical mistake over the middle of the field.
And he's just staring his guy down for way too long. There was the defender that had a beat on him from the get-go, and he makes him pay. That's a mistake you don't expect to see the quarterback make.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Gets it out fast. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. Passing game kept the drive moving. Here's 1st down. Gonna run it. It's Willingham. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. That last carry pays off with a C note already at 100 yards.
Man, he's done it with so much balance and so much power and so much speed. He's really shown you that he's a great back in a multitude of ways. And guess what? It's still the first half.
Finds his man. It's Willingham. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Sooners will snap it on 1st and 10. He's got the tight end. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They're dealing with a second and long. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
Right down the boulevard, it's good. And now the lead is extended a little further. They keep pushing that lead out, and the kickoff team's getting some work. He'll bring it out. It's Henderson. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Jones wants to throw it. He's going to take off. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit. The Buckeyes are in the hurry-up. Wants to throw on first down. With the catch, it's Morton. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. And the Buckeyes with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Second and short, maybe looking for a shot. Got the back over the middle. And they knocked him down, but he got past the line to gain. Clock winding towards 0. They'll get one more snap off. Looking downfield on first down. Pocket breaking down. Across the 25, he's got room. He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Sooners will line up to kick off and start the second half. He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on 4th downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
First down here for the offense. Jones to throw. Might be looking to run. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. Turning it on.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Leaves it with the back. Got enough for the first. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain.
Defense gives up the pretty big run. They get the first down. And listen, you got to reload quick now because this offense, they got their foot on the accelerator.
Zings it complete to the right. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. That defensive penalty was just what the doctor ordered for this offense. It's now 2nd and 3. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Working that left side now. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
Got some room headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Ohio State. Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Hey, fellas, big update in a top 5 game today. Texas looks like a bunch of world beaters right now, marching all over that field like Bevo in the pregame. They're up by 21 over TCU. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this top 5.
There he goes. Open it up. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. No guts, no glory. Caught it in the end zone. Didn't hesitate for a millisecond to take that thing back, and boy, did it pay off.
And this is why kickoff returns are so exciting. There's so much space between you and the other team flying down the field. The only time you're going to be provided that much space, and you could tell he knew what to do with that space. Kicked on the Jets by Felicia.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jess. Trying to burn this defensive back. Pulls it in down the sideline. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. The Buckeyes moving quickly to the line. Quarterback making adjustments. Jones wants to throw it. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
What a great response by this defense. You give up the big play. What do? You respond right back. You get upfield, get to the quarterback, get the negative play, and get the momentum right back.
And the Buckeyes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
The short hands, it's set. Breaks into the open. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks at the first down. The Buckeyes have this offense rolling. Looking to throw on first down. keeps looking downfield. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
Well, this quarterback normally makes defenses look very silly week in, week out with his speed, but he has yet to face a defense like this. This defense accepted the challenge. They have stepped up. They have been disruptive. They have been living in the backfield all game long. That already the third sack of the game for this unit.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
All right, you've dug yourself a little bit of a hole offensively. You know you're going to have to throw it here in the second half. You're going to have to make sure, though, you do a better job up front with your pass pro. You got to keep your quarterback standing upright.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Buying some time as he moves left. It's complete. Oh, the sweet spin, and he's free. He's stopped and forced out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 11.
And that's why for the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
The Buckeyes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The give to the running back from the shotgun. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Jones to throw. Skips away from pressure. Lets it fly. Throw into the end zone, and it's picked off. Inside the 40. He's at the 30. Past the 10. Touchdown, Oklahoma! How about this defense taking one back to the house?
Dude, you're just thinking hold him to 3, make him kick a field goal, don't let him score points. Heck no, you turn it into offense. What a play. Catches the ball in the end zone. Take a knee. Take a knee. No, sir. I'm taking this thing all the way back 100 yards to the house. What a play.
Kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions.
There he goes! Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight end and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, explode through. How about that nice, big, huge game? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
Here's a heat. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. It just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he has had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions ago.
And the Buckeyes pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. To the air on first down. Going for it all. And his first pass is incomplete.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit and coverage that forces the incompletion.
It's complete on the right side. That'll be a gain of about 7, leaves him with 3rd and 3. You can hand it to him, you can throw it to him. Either way, he's making his presence felt.
Those are your favorite plays, Reese, the him plays, right? Finding ways to get him the ball because he can make plays, whether it's running or receiving out of the backfield. They're going to continue to highlight this guy.
That has got to be so demoralizing for the defense. You haven't been able to stop this guy all game long. And here on 3rd down, they're handing it off to him anyway because they don't think you can stop him. This defense right now, you see a lot of people hanging their heads a little bit because they're not playing with tons of confidence.
He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. Give to the running back. They make the tackle, not before he gets the first down. Now let's see if they rush to the line or let the time run out here in the 3rd. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. A first down run in the red zone. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
That was a great example of a running back toting the rock with conviction. There's not a lot of time to hesitate. If you see a split second, you see a hole, you've got to hit it right now. Nice job by the RB there.
Jones wants to throw it. Got a paw on it near the goal line.
Yeah, and the defense comes up with the stop, and you just wonder, the analytics world and all that stuff, that whatever the card says to do, you're supposed to do. I wonder if they were listening to that card.
Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball. So they come to the line, and the Wildcat going to give them a different look. On the direct snap, it's Willingham. They bring him down behind the line of scrimmage, and now he'll have to go back to work to get over 100 yards again for the day.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolling right and going deep. And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. And even in the 4th quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive. Pedal to the metal.
And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
Yeah, nice run, and I think everybody knows. He's right there next to that 100-yard mark, 98 yards on the day. And that's a mark, man, when you hit that mark a lot of times and you take care of the football, you win a lot of football games. It's the more physical team. It's the team that makes it easy, makes it easier on their quarterback, and they've done that today.
Oh, that did not go as planned, except for the defense. They were right there to make the big stop.
Well, you obviously want to get your receivers the football down here in the red zone, but it's tough to throw it to them because the windows are so small. So I like the idea, handing it off to that guy and seeing if he can do something with the speed.
It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Gets rid of it. Trying to bull his way in. And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost.
And you got to love the versatility of the big fella. You put him in the box and let him block big defensive linemen, or you put him in the slot and you throw him the football and have success.
And the offense doesn't bat an eye. They'll stay on the field and try to score from the 1 on 4th down. Power ahead. Touchdown, Sooners! And the stomping has commenced.
And how about this offense? Another scoring drive. Great job. They seem to be in a much better rhythm than they were a week ago. They're 0-1, lost week 1. They could have got down on themselves. I like the way they bounced back. Now they're going to be 1-1 with this performance.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, all the talk this week. Let's find out how things are playing out in this top 5 duel. Texas is painting an offensive masterpiece so far. It's been like a Bob Ross masterclass. They're up 14 over TCU. Much more on this top 5 matchup should anything change, gentlemen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. This was certainly not their best effort. I believe this team is much better than it performed today, but they're going to pay the consequences of losing this ball game. Hit as he throws. He's got a perfect play. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
You know, you just can't coach toughness of quarterbacks. This guy's been sacked multiple times in this one. And on that last play, he gets drilled again, but he delivers a strike. I'll tell you what, this guy's going to be in an ice bath after the game.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the first down.
And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. Out of the gun, they give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The Buckeyes are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Trying to pick it up on the ground. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Has to get there to move the sticks. He will not get it. A 4th down stop for this defense as they try to salt this one away. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. And they not only knocked him down behind the line, they also put him back under the century mark for the day.
We've seen this guy have tons of success. He had over 100 yards right before that run, but defense gets the better of him there. Nice job of adjusting up front. Good job being physical by that D-line, too.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Caught over the middle, it's Willingham. He's knocked down just short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. It brings up 4th down.
And this offense continuing to spin the football, man, continuing to add to a great day. They built this big lead. They've shown you a variety that they can do a lot of really, really good things. And I like it, man. Continue to throw the football. Continue to be who you are. It's the defense's job to stop.
Found a little running room on that one. Picked up some nice blocks before he's run out of bounds. This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Just a short pass to the tight end. He'll get it out to the 43-yard line. That's where they mark him out of bounds, and this offense is starting to do a little work. The Buckeyes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Runs through the tackle. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And I think this offense is all but surrendered, right? Like they're down so much, they need to be throwing the football. They want to score a bunch of points to get back in this game, but they got to find something moving forward, man. This was a rough day. This was not a great offensive performance. They got to...
Oh, he's got some space. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And QBs love their big tight ends, especially guys that can do such great things after the catch. He catches it. Dang, Palmer, he looks like a daggum receiver after he catches the football.
What a matchup nightmare, too, man. I mean, he's just too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. If I'm this QB, I'm looking that guy's way a lot more often in this one.
And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. Great place to start for this offense. They'll try the run. Stop behind the line, he'll lose a yard. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Lining up in the Wildcat, let's see what they've got. On the direct snap, it's Willihan, fighting off the defender. They forced ahead just a bit, not a lot working with the Wildcat there. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. It's a running room. Touchdown, Oklahoma! And the beatdown has ensued.
And this offense has had a good day, and more importantly, this team responded from last week. 0-1, didn't look good to start the season, bouncing back, getting a convincing victory. Nice job by this team handling adversity early in the season.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finished it off with the 33-yard touchdown run. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. We've got a timeout from the kicking team. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. They'll start this drive from their own 35-yard line. Jones to throw. Quick strike complete. Knocked out of bounds at the 46 after the good pickup on that one.
You know, you're seeing in college football now with spread offense and tempo and air raid, we're seeing more and more 400-yard days, but I can't remember the last time I've seen one look as impressive as this guy has played today, David. He has been on fire.
And it's so annoying now because all the quick game is so good, and then you take shots when you get matchups, and you see tight ends now that move like wide receivers and running backs that move like receivers. There's so many ways that quarterbacks can hurt you now, and he showed all of it today.
From the 22 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his big tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. From the shotgun, the inside give.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here's the pressure. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 11. They'll use use a timeout with 26 seconds left on the clock. And the Buckeyes have it with a 1st and 10. Bringing the heat. Makes the grab on the left.
And this offense is going to have to find more explosive plays. And it can't just rely on the dink and dunk. It's going to have to find itself and score more points. Listen, they got beat up today. But moving on in the future, they've got some good pieces. They got to find a way to fit them together, create some explosive plays on this offense, because today they've been lacking.
And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Guys, I think we all expected this game to be close. Couple of teams of this caliber, but boy, what a statement by the underdog in this one.
And there's going to be a big movement in the rankings after that performance. That team that got the win today, they are going to get moved ahead of their opponent. It's one thing to beat a ranked opponent, David. It's one thing to blow the doors off of them. That was impressive.
It's impressive. It's huge for them. Obviously, we know what's going to happen when they're going to move up the charts, but the other side is equally as depressing. I mean, they're going to fall like a rock. This wasn't even a competitive game. This is a bad day, and the rankings will reflect it when they come out.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports.